What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again, and this is part 2 of the knife collection update. This time we are looking at fixed blades. Similar story to part 1. This is the vast majority. I'm sure I have some floating around in bags and stuff I just didn't feel like getting, but this is most of them. And similar story as well. I will be having a knife sale in a few weeks. This is not that video. I'm not sure which ones are leaving the collection. Some of them have yet to be reviewed, so I got to get that done first. But let's get into it. This is the Tops Desert Nomad. Awesome leather sheath on this guy. Just did an overview video on this one. 440C. Man, this thing's almost too big for the frame. Super cool design. You know, it's supposed to be a fighting knife or a hard to use kind of field knife. For me, it's just going to see some use in the outdoors, but it's cool enough. I just had to have it. Might need to make some room here as we move around. This one's a little bit different. The cold steel roach belly. This has got so many positive reviews on YouTube and articles and things, and it's so cheap that I just had to buy it. My intended use for this was like just kind of throw it in a bag for a camp kitchen knife, and it's done pretty well at that. Still need to review this one as well. The sheath is lackluster, but I mean, it's $12. What do you expect? That's decent. What's next? This is another Tops knife. You'll see a theme here. I'm a big fan of Tops knives. This is the Scandi Woodsman. To me, this is kind of that companion knife for day hikes and things, and it's almost perfect at that job. Leather sheath. The duct tape on here is because the snap kept coming undone. For some reason, that snap just was flying off my belt, so I did a kind of a crude fix there, but this one has seen quite a bit of use. I really love this knife. Feels great in the hand. Of course, got my cart of scales. Awesome offering from Tops. This one's got kind of a sad story, and for the life of me, I don't even remember what this knife is called. It's the Schrade something, but you can see I'm missing kind of a sizable piece of that micarta handle there. This was definitely in my bushcraft phase. I was batoning everything and making fires and going camping all the time. So that's where all that use came from. It's been like resharpened on a wheel that we were kind of testing out. This was a great knife for the price. I think this was like 40 bucks or something. It's a good tool. It served me well, but it's one of those ones I don't even know if I want to sell with that broken handle, but maybe this will be a giveaway or something. Who knows? Another one I just did an overview on. Might not have gone up on the channel yet. This is the cold steel recon tanto. Wicked design. Again, it's probably in that kind of fighting class of knife that I don't have a ton of use for, but they're just so cool. SK5 steel on this guy. It's like a foot long overall. Awesome blade shape. And I haven't tried a lot of cold steels, and I'm trying to give them a little bit more business because, you know, a lot of their knives don't appeal to me, but this one was cheap enough, and I think I can push it into some normal-ish rolls. Great sheath on it too. These SecureX sheaths I'm actually a huge fan of. They're not Kydex or plastic. It's got kind of dual mounting points. It's a good sheath for, like I said, that $40, $50 price point. This one I've had for freaking ever. This is one I wanted to hate, and it performed fine. It's not a good knife. It's just like that Bear Grylls Gerber collaboration. I think I got this when I was like 16 or 18 or something. It's certainly not a good knife, but if it's the only knife you had, I'm sure it would work fine. It's got those rubber grips and a nondescript steel, so you know what that means. The sheath's not bad. It was supposed to be kind of your all-encompassing fire starter. And there was there's survival directions on how to signal on the back. This is certainly a marketing ploy. I think there's some usefulness here, but this is mainly for Bear Grylls to get paid. Let's spread these out. Get some room here. This is a knife I absolutely love. This is the OKC Cerberus, and you can see I've used this a ton. This has gone on a lot of expeditions and excursions, or whatever you want to call outdoor adventures. It is great. It's not perfect, but it really makes me want to buy more knives from OKC. This one's very well designed. The sheath almost even more so. The retention's excellent, and I love this secondary strap. So I put a blade tech lock, is that what they call these? Man, it's been so long. I only have one of these, but I put this on a backpack strap, fold it in and lock it, and that way I can just pull down. But even on the trail, if I fall or anything, I'm not worried about this knife coming out. So this has kind of been a do-all outdoorsy knife for me, and I love it. This one's got an interesting story. This is in the same vein as the Recon Tanto. This is the GI Tanto. You can see I modified this one, but I'm actually kind of proud of this one. If you guys watched part 1, I royally messed up some folding knives when I was trying to attempt to change them or modify them just to see what I could do. But this one I think turned out well. I was calling this my zombie apocalypse knife. I have a video on it. I just took a Dremel to these plastic handles and really roughed them up, and the traction's actually better. I removed the top hand guard, gave some bad jimping, and then did kind of that mustard stain all over. And I obviously took the coating off. I think this is like 1055 or 1065. But I think this knife turned out great. I wanted the apocalyptic look, and I got it. Resharpened it, and this is kind of one of those, I don't use it knives, but it's cool. Again, Schrade sheath on this guy, double retention, and then I lashed just a pouch on the back that for sharpening and fire supplies. This is supposed to be like a budget bug out knife project. So I had a lot of fun with this one. For 25 bucks at the time, it was worth it. Another Tops knife here. This is the HKT, also known as the Hunter Killer Tracker, I think. This is certainly a self-defense knife. I'm not going to claim that I know about self-defense with knives very much. This knife is just cool. It's, anytime I buy a large fixed blade, I think, oh, that's a cool tactical looking knife. I gotta have it. So ergonomics on this are excellent. It's supposed to be used in a variety of grips and for stabbing and slashing or whatever the real guys use with these, but this knife's sweet. $10.95. It's even got a little sharpened swedge on the back for back cuts or whatever. Kydex sheath, belt clip. Not one I use a lot, but I try to push it into any normal roll I can because it's cool. Just did an overview on this guy, SE3. This is probably one of the most useful knives on the table for me. Just small enough, but not too small. Can't wait to start carrying this thing. If you guys watch the overview video, I love the sheath as well. Great retention, good clip. 1095 steel. Those really cool G10 handles on that tan coated blade. So cool. I love this SE3. This is a Tops knife I do not like and I should not have bought. This is another self-defense oriented one, which a lot of theirs are. This is the Devil's Elbow. I think this is supposed to be some sort of extension of a fist. But to me, it's a tactical envelope opener. Got that same belt clip, Kydex sheath, 1095 steel. I did a little bit of a wrap on it, which it made a little bit of a difference. But this is one that's probably gonna leave the collection. I got a lot of Tops coming up, so I'll skip it. This is another one I do not like whatsoever. I gave this a pretty poor review that got some people with negative feedback, but I still stand by it. This is the SOG Gambit. Poorly made, I think, for a long time. SOG was using bad materials, bad fit and finish. I mean, the sheath sucks. I mean, some guys like this knife, and kudos to you. This will probably end up being a sale knife for very cheap, or even a giveaway knife if you buy a certain one when I figure out that pricing and structure. But I like the design. Like, I think it's a cool looking knife. I think it's a cool, intended use to have a fairly carryable karambit. But yeah, it's just not for me. Not the best made knife on the table for sure. Okay, back to the Tops. I just did an overview video on this guy. This is the Street Scalpel 2, 1095 steel, canvas micarta scales, great ergonomics for a smaller knife. And this is one that's going to see a lot of use this summer. If I feel like carrying a fixed blade EDC, it's going to rotate between this guy, the Scandi Woodsman, and then SE3 most likely. All three have a little bit different intended uses, I guess, but they'd be perfect at most everyday carry tasks. Tops Tybo. This is the Azula competitor, I would say. And it's interesting, I like the Azula 2 more, but for some reason I got rid of it. I still have the Tybo. This has seen a ton of use. I even batoned it a little bit just to show how tough it was. I mean, obviously a slab of 1095 can handle it. Good blade shape on that guy. I think I did a really good job on the wrap here. I think this was like my 5th attempt, but this one might be leaving the collection. I don't really carry it or use it that much anymore, so keep an eye out for this one on that sale. But Kydex sheath, this is a good neck knife. Another Tops, just did an overview on this guy, Tops Idaho Hunter. This is probably going to be my most used camp knife this summer, if it's not that Cerberus from earlier. This thing is just excellent. Haven't used it a ton, or really much at all yet. Just did that overview, but it's great. 1095 steel again, Kydex sheath. These are all very similar materials from Tops, but this one's got excellent ergos. Excited to carry it and use it. This is a Tops Bob. This is one I probably should have got a long time ago. This one was actually a gift. It has not seen really any use. That's kind of a recurring theme here. I'm getting back into knives. But this is obviously a bushcrafter's dream knife. This is exactly what you need. It's got that kind of faux scandi grind. There is a secondary bevel there. That's kind of what they specialize in with their scandis. But it's got a cool leather sheath. Your ferro rod and fire starter there. I love the belt loop on this guy. This is a great drop leg kind of holster. So there's something about Tops knives with leather sheaths that just seem right for, you know, the outdoorsy kind. Just a couple more, I think. This one is a bad purchase on my end. This is the Tops 1027. This thing is just crazy, absolutely ridiculous. It's built very well. I haven't really used it. It's got cool G10 handle scales, this crazy blade coating texture on there. It almost looks like granite or like a rock. It's got weird ergos. This is a fighting knife of sorts. Karambit, kind of L-shaped. It was on sale. I'll just say that. It was on sale at some knife shop, and I'm like, that is just crazy enough. I actually rolled dice. If I got an even number, I was gonna buy it, or an odd number, sorry, because it would be odd for me to buy this knife, and if it was even, I wasn't, and it landed on a 3. So I let the fates decide. It's still well made, and I'm sure somebody will love this knife, but this one's definitely leaving the collection after I review it. Kydex sheath, belt clip, you know the story. 2 Tops knives left. This is the Windrunner, Snake River Edition. You can see that heat treat line, just like the Snake River Edition Idaho Hunter. I did wear this during a kayaking trip, and it got some corrosion on that 1095. That's kind of what happens when you don't take care of your knives. I had it net carried like this, and water kind of got in there. I didn't clean it for probably a week. So hopefully that corrosion has stopped. It doesn't affect the knife or anything, just kind of stained it. But this is a cool little knife. It's got that great 3-finger grip, but this hook kind of feels like it's almost a 4-finger grip. Cool knife. I like recurves for stuff out in the field because you're usually cutting paracord or, webbing, that kind of thing, and it kind of traps it along the blade edge and cuts it better. And then lastly, I don't know why I own this, but I'm so proud that I do. This is not going to fit on frame, by the way. This is the Tops SXB. I was testing this kind of retention paracord here. I'll probably take that off, but this thing is just crazy town. I saw so many videos of people just hacking down trees and things with this. This is more of a hatchet than a knife to me. I have very little use for it, but it is so damn cool. Like it's literally one of those zombie weapons of the most ridiculous sense. Like this is it's just so crazy. A huge slab of like 1/4 inch thick 1095. Rocky Mountain tread on those scales. Just a wild knife. One that I really don't know what I'm going to do with. It's probably going to make funny videos rather than serious ones. But that's the SXB. So I think that is all my folding knives. At least all that I could find in the short time that I wanted to make this video in. And we kept it under 15 minutes. So not too bad. But thanks for watching, guys. And remember, have fun with your knives.